Okay, so here we are doing a reading on the fox. So this is a premise that keeps showing up in the lunar cycle readings, and it kind of shows a false teacher or a self-appointed guru who doesn't have our best interest in mind and probably doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about anyway. But it has shown up very consistently for at least 2 months. So here we're using the Deviant Moon Tarot, which I'm way more familiar with than Lenormand, to try to get a deeper look. First, we'll identify it, and then we'll see what the fuck after that. But let's just try to get a look at its face. So, random word rhubarb number 17. All right, so right away we have a root card of strength. We'll find out more of what that means as we put down the main cards. Interesting. So the main card is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so we're gonna do kind of a lead up, at least a lead up to this, just to try to figure out more about what we got. So we get the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune, and as it moves forward, the Ace of Swords. That is really, really fascinating, especially bouncing off of the Strength card. Now here, keep in mind that what I'm doing is I'm trying to just get a peek at this energy, just trying to look it in the face. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is basically destiny and karma. So the Wheel of Fortune shows something, it's like a wave, and it's a wave of energy that's crossing many dimensions or many levels, many layers of reality, and we basically cannot fight it. It's just something that is meant to happen, which is why I say it's like destiny and karma. If something is happening on all of the other like parallel levels or like close to us levels, then it is likely going to happen here too. And that's what we have. So this manipulation or the lies or the false teacher energy, it's just here, and it has happened on all the other levels, so it's happening here too. When we look at the cards around it, this is interesting. Now the root card is the strength card, and this is about basically having a goal and then not letting go. You know, it's like having a goal and then achieving it, no matter what, kind of, but you prove your own strength to yourself as you do it. So this is about us proving our strength to ourselves. Now, right away, you could look at this as a test. You know, like maybe this is humanity willing a test for itself. That maybe they want to find out just how fucking smart they are, you know, and it shows up in this basically smokescreen of lies. And when all of the supposed authority figures are not authorities and they're actually full of shit. So as we look to see what kind of leads up to this, we get the Emperor, and the Emperor is about control. Now, one thing that this says is this did not happen by accident. This was a force of will that was specifically applied here. And what comes out on the other side, or as the energy continues to progress, the Ace of Swords is about taking matters into our own hands. That's not exactly right. So it's about taking full responsibility for what happens to you and therefore having full control. Now, if you throw these specific cards together, this is a test of will and a test of strength. And it's happening on all of these different levels. But if you look at this, I mean, you smash it all together, it really looks to me like it's a test that humanity collectively kind of manufactured for itself, which is pretty fucking interesting. So, what I'm going to do now is just try to find out how we can pass this test, how to make sure that we pass the test. And another thing I should say, now this is happening across the world with, I mean, with the internet and social media and the fucking main media sources all being straight up full of shit, and everybody knows it. You know, if you try to find a reliable news source, whether it's people you know or channels you watch, you probably cannot find one. You kind of have to figure it out yourself, you know? But I mean, I guess that's what we're trying to find out now. How do we pass this test? How do we find the truth amongst a haystack of lies? How do we find the needle of truth in the haystack of lies? Ooh, okay. So, a reversed Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles is about not being able to let go of something in order to move forward to a new vibration, we'll say. So this person is rich in this life and he's about to walk through the portal to the underworld. And he knows that when he goes through this portal to a new dimension, essentially, he's going to lose his fancy robes and all his money, and he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to let go of what he has to move forward to another thing. Now, the change is inevitable. He really can't fight it, but he's doing his best. Now, when this thing is upside down, it usually shows something else that is kind of holding us back. It's like we're waiting for something to follow us through. Now, there is a core energy of not letting go of some surface level bullshit in order to move forward. But here it's like we're waiting for someone to come with us. So the first thing I would say about that, as far as what could we do, is try to let go of as much surface level bullshit as you can. You know, in order to see the truth, you might have preconceived ideas, you might have a lot of energy personally invested in one thing or another. And this is basically saying, for your part, you have to let go of as much of that as you can. But here it's like we're kind of stuck because other people aren't letting go of their shit. That's on them though. That's really not about us. So for each individual person, try to let go of as much surface level bullshit as you can, and that should help you more clearly see truth for whatever that means. And we have two more cards coming out here. Now, the Ten of Wands is a burden. And these are linked off of this process here. Now, the Ten of Wands is basically all the shit work that you have to do to get something done. Like this person is trying to build a house, and this is all the thankless shit work that they have to do to get the house built. Now, as you sort of liberate yourself from all of this surface level bullshit, don't expect any cheerleaders, right? This is a burden that you will have to take on. No one gives a shit. No one is going to basically say good job. I mean, you're so good at letting go of stupid garbage. No one is going to say that. and this is your personal burden to bear. And it kind of sucks, but there's nothing that we can do about the fact that it sucks. There's nothing to it but to do it, as they say. Now, we also get a reversed Page of Pentacles, and this is a little weirder. I think I'm going to pull one more card to try to figure out how this fits in, because the Page of Pentacles is the open-minded student. Now, in almost all cases that I can think of, the Page of Pentacles is a positive thing. The page here finds this pentacle, and they're like, wow, they know how important this thing is going to be as they incorporate it into their lives. So it's like a new area of study, and you're completely open-minded. Now, this thing is upside down, which is usually not having the time or the space to incorporate this new thing into yourself. Now, keeping in mind, this is part of the line of how we are able to actually find and stay on track with truth. And this is saying not being able to incorporate new things is part of how we do that. So I'm going to pull one more card to find out why that page is upside down, what the hell that's talking about. Oh, geez. So we get two. All right. Well, I guess the answer might be in the suit, because the Pentacles cards, this is physical material stuff, and the Knight of Cups, this is the spiritual seeker. Now, the Knight of Cups is going outside of their comfort zone because they're being called. I mean, they're being called to a spiritual truth, and they feel it. And in order to go to it, they have to journey. They have to go outside of their comfort zone. Now, one of the things that I'm going to say about this is the Pentacles cards tend to be material things, and the Cups cards are more spiritual and emotional. So, as far as learning new things, this would basically say to try to open up emotionally and spiritually to new things, to seek them out specifically. And here it's moving toward the Magician. There's a couple of things in here. So the page is trying to learn a new skill. I mean, is learning a new skill. The Magician already has a whole bunch of skills. They're already the master of all these different things. So this is more like remembering than it is about learning. It's about emotionally and spiritually going outside of our comfort zone. And the Magician is us being confident in who we are and what we do. And instead of like trying to pick up and learn a new thing, this basically says to remember. So as we let go of material surface level bullshit that keeps the smoke screen in place, which is a thankless task that will kind of probably suck, try not to think about learning new things. This is more about remembering things. It's like remembering things that we already know in our spiritual and emotional body, remembering things. Fascinating stuff. Um, this also implies that the fox energy is really trying to throw a smokescreen over the top of our spiritual truth, our spiritual understanding, and this stuff that is innate within us. And it's also trying to throw a smokescreen over us expanding in any way, as far as that goes. the strength card. And if you go back here to the strength card, this kind of looks like it was manufactured by the collective will of humans as a fucking test. Uh, Interesting stuff, and hopefully you will find this useful. If nothing else, it is interesting. And peace.